Hey everybody, this is Ravo at the workbench today, bringing you another pocket knife. Well, I guess I should say quote unquote pocket knife review. You might understand that after you watch the video. Let's do a quick watch check because today I'm wearing the classic Casio F91W. I actually just finally got this on a NATO strap today, although this is not the NATO that I would love to wear it with because it looks a little Beetlejuicy. But we'll be grabbing another, I think, 18 millimeter NATO later. But I've been really enjoying this $6 Casio digital watch, and hope to have a review of this guy soon. All right, so let's get to the review at hand. So today we are going to take a look at this Hoffman Richter HR-15 tactical folder. This was actually a gift from my father-in-law, who I believe was given this knife after joining some kind of club or something. Knew that I like knives, and so he decided to give it to me. I believe when he gave me this, I had just purchased either my Kershaw Skyline or my Ontario Rat. And he gave me this, and I really kind of laughed at it and stuck it in my wife's car to be kind of a backup knife for her, you know, if she ever needed anything. And kind of forgot about it until now, and pulled it out and have been playing with this guy, so I thought I might do a little review. So the Hoffman Richter HR-15 comes in this nice little box, you know, whatever. And we get the lovely Made in China logo there. Upon opening this knife, wow, look at that. So yeah, this is a full metal, full steel folder. So I think that this knife is actually kind of supposed to mimic a, I don't know, your kind of custom or your mid-tech folder, because just aesthetically, this guy looks a lot like something that you might pay, you know, a lot of money for, something that's custom made. I mean, this thing looks like it was kind of machined. It just has the look of a, you know, in my opinion, a fairly expensive knife. Has the feel of a fairly expensive knife. And it is a spring-assisted flipper. So let's do a size comparison. Let me bring in something that I think is pretty close in size. The Gerber Paraframe Mini. Oh, wait a second. Maybe I goofed on that. Here we go. This is my fixed blade bushcraft knife that I've shown off in the past, and yeah, there we go. That's much closer in size. So yeah, this knife is massive. It is gigantic. This guy here is just literally a solid sheet of metal with some Purple Heart handles, and this is this tactical folder, the HR-15. Pretty large knife. Just to give you an idea of size, here's my Spyderco Delica, my trusty Spyderco. So that gives you kind of an idea. Handle's not too far off, but obviously the blade is just massive. So. Alright, so that should give you an idea of size. Let's do a quick weight check on this knife, because that's really the important thing on this knife. I'm going to have to move the camera around a little bit just because my scale has a display that's very difficult to read. But let's throw this guy on here. And, I mean, this is just comical. 9 ounces. So if I can get that focused. There we go. 9 ounces. I'm going to throw this off and throw up my fixed blade here. 5.5 ounces. Just unreal. I mean, just amazing. So this guy is twice as heavy as the largest knife that I ever use. And you know, you can see why, right? This is got tight, I guess, stainless steel handles and blade. This guy, which is just literally a solid sheet of metal that's been shaped and added some, you know, fairly heavy Purple Heart handles. This guy's half the weight of this bulky monster. Just fantastic. Price, I don't think I talked price yet. I think that you can get this knife on Amazon for $25 free shipping right now. You know, that price has been slashed from $120 original price, and now is yours for only 25 bucks, which is, you know, hop on over, grab yourself one. Obviously they've played some kind of price gimmick. There's just no chance that this guy was ever a you know, $120 knife. You saw the made in China. If you did not see that on the box, I think you can see that right here if I can get this in. Yep, 440 stainless, China, with the Hoffman Richter logo. So yes, about 25 bucks. So when we're thinking about comparing this, we're thinking about you know, something like the well, I would say we're thinking about something like the Kershaw or the Ontario Rat or something like that. But really, this knife, it doesn't resemble either. The purpose is not really you know, the purpose of either of those other knives. This is you know, a tactical folder. This is kind of what if you've seen, like, you know, Nick Shabazz's latest knife rant video. You know, this is your ridiculous, overly built, tactical / you know, just beat up knife. What's the purpose of this knife? I don't have a clue. I mean, this knife is I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you're buying this knife, why you wouldn't just go ahead and buy a fixed blade, since it's half as heavy. You can get something that is you know, literally one piece of steel instead of you know, of this design where it's folding. And so if you are going to be beating on this guy, you know, you could really you're obviously, you could easily break this, whereas with a fixed blade, you know, you can just beat it to heck. I cannot imagine anyone ever carrying this knife. My father-in-law, who gave this to me, is a very large man. He's just a big guy, military guy, and he gave this to me. I can't even imagine him carrying this. I mean, it's just so ridiculously heavy, you know, that I can't ever see this going in the pocket, although it does have a pocket clip. And what's funny about this is that the pocket clip is forced tip down and forced on your right side. I guess you could wear this on the left, but that flipper is going to be right there. And so you can't really change the pocket clip position anywhere. So to me, this knife is not really made to be carried around. It's made to look cool, I guess. I mean, that's the only thing I can think that this knife is really made to do. Let's go over just the basics of the knife, and we'll get into the ergonomics. So, like I said, pretty much the whole thing is steel, is 440 stainless steel. Now, I don't know if it doesn't say 440C, which is kind of what you come to expect. So, you know, we'll see. I really kind of like 440C. In fact, that's all that this guy is. But you know, it's held up just fine. Although I would anticipate, being made in China and just the general, you know, make of this knife, it's probably not 440C. You know, so 440A or B, I think. This is a spring-assisted knife. So it has this flipper here. It also has the thumb stud. One thing I noticed about the thumb stud is that it is very difficult to use the thumb stud. So the first couple times I was trying this knife, I just could not get it. Finally, I got it. You do have to push really, really, really hard against this thumb stud, really, to get it to deploy that way. And it tends to wear kind of a hot spot in your hand. So the flipper here, the flipper action is actually really good. I'm kind of impressed. Part of that is the spring assist. I really wish that I had my Kershaw Leak still. I did sell that knife because I wasn't a huge fan. To kind of compare the spring, to be honest with you, I almost prefer this spring assist more than the Kershaw Leak, which is kind of crazy to think. But you know, one of the things that I really like about this spring assist is that it's not overly assisted. You know, the Kershaw Leak to me was such a strong spring that I really felt like I was going to hurt myself anytime I closed the knife. With this guy, let's see if I can show it. When I go to close this, when I got to the Kershaw Leak, you would get right about there, and it would start pushing back on you, and so it would just kind of catapult. With this guy, I'm pushing all the way back here until this guy is really doing anything. And even if I try to kind of flick it, it's just not as strong as the Kershaw leak was. And so it's very easy, even given the size of this knife, to close it one-handed and to not feel like you're really resisting all that much. So the spring assist I actually like. The one thing about the spring assist, it's kind of a delayed assist. You push, 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 you're pushing it out, and then it finally catches, which is just kind of a take on the quality here. So ergonomics. So ergonomics actually fantastic on this knife. Knife feels really great. I can't even feel the pocket clip because it is so big. It's got a nice little finger choil there, some jimping on the liner lock there. But all in all, like the handle is this kind of stainless steel, milled handle, and it's got this kind of wave design. Pardon the dog barking in the background. But the handle feels actually really great. Even going back this way, it does feel pretty good in the hands. So I can't complain about the ergonomics for such a large knife. It is really nice. The other thing to note about this knife is the glass breaker back here. This also serves as your lanyard hole. Just a big sheet of metal that attaches from right there. You can see the clip to right there. I can pretty much assure you, although I have not tried it, that this that would break some glass. I mean, you almost don't need a glass breaker on this knife because the whole thing could probably serve as a glass breaker, just given the heft of this knife. This is a serrated blade. I think they do sell one without the serrations. If you've watched some of my other videos, I'm not a huge fan of serrations. But this one, whatever, is what it is. This isn't going to be a carry knife anyway, so I really don't care. If you're going to have a massive tactical camp folder, whatever, why not throw some serrations on there? You're probably going to be cutting some rope. All right, so lockup. I talked about the spring. This is a frame lock. So it's kind of funny to me. You've got these just massive handle scales here of stainless steel, and then you have these kind of itty bitty liners. Let's see if I can get this in focus. Right there. Nope, that's still not in focus. So you kind of have these pretty small liners, which is just kind of interesting, given the fact that everything else in this knife is so large. That being said, it locks up pretty good. I think it's right there where it's past the steel, so I don't have any worry about this guy folding. It's less than 50%, which is fine by me. You'll notice that the ramp, it's kind of slanted right here. You can really see that if I close this knife and look at it from this side. You'll notice that ramp there. Looking inside this knife, it's just kind of a weird design. I assume some of that is the spring assist. But I would actually say the centering on this knife is pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect, but for a $25 Chinese knife, it's not awful. The clip on this knife, again, I don't see why you would ever want a clip on a knife like this, and this one's not that great anyway. It's not too tight, which is nice, and I think I've talked about this before, but this is much more like the Kershaw Skyline knife clip, where you kind of start out here and then you ramp down instead of the Ontario Rat or something, which just comes straight down. Which is nice, but again, I'm just going to remove this as soon as I get done with this video, because I would never use a clip on a knife like this. You're just not going to be carrying this guy around anywhere. Let's see, steel. So 440, I'm not really sure, like I said, if it's 440C or what it is, but, I don't hate it. I haven't had to really sharpen this guy yet because I just don't really cut with this knife. But for what it is, Chinese knife, I can't imagine it's going to be worse than the 813 or 8CR13 MOV steel. But I guess time will tell with that. On the whole, I really wanted to hate this knife. When I remembered that this was in my wife's car, I kind of said, "Oh man, this is going to be fantastic. I can just have this scathing review this very cheap Chinese-made knife, and you know, I pulled it out and forgot just how ridiculously massive it is. But you know what? This knife's kind of endearing to me. You know, it's the logo is, you know, not super cheesy. It's got this kind of cool wolf guy here. I threw some CLP. That's what I use on all my knives. Some cleaner, lubricant, and preservative, which is a gun lube that I use. But I threw some CLP in the pivot, and that has really made this this really slick. You know, I don't hate it. I really want to hate it, and I don't. I mean, obviously, this is not going to be a carry knife for me, so I guess my cut or carry would be cut, but this knife isn't going anywhere. This is staying in my collection. One of the things that I love is that they're using these, you know, from what I see, they're using Torx here. So I don't even know if I can get that in video, but they've got, you know, traditional Torx bits, so I can work on this knife. I can take the pocket clip off, which is, you know, pretty nice. A lot of times on Chinese knives, you'll see them use kind of other fastening mechanisms, and so it's kind of nice that they've done that. All in all, like, you know, I wouldn't say run out and buy one of these, but for 25 bucks, if you're looking for something that's just ridiculously overbuilt, that you're never going to have to take to its limit, you know, this thing is going to stay in my car or in my toolbox or something, because, you know, with the spring assist, this knife is just super fun. Even to sit at your desk and kind of flick this guy open. It's a fun little knife. Not little, it's massive. It's a fun knife. It's just kind of ridiculous in its cheapness and in its overbuilt quality. You know, but what can I say? I really wanted to hate it, and I don't. I kind of love it. You know, it'll never be in my pocket, but, you know, who knows? I'll probably take it camping or something. If you're looking for that custom knife made look, but you may not have the budget for it, grab one of these guys. I don't think really anyone knows who Hoffman Richter is, and so you can come up with a cool story about how much you paid for your knife and whatnot. Might be kind of cool. All right, so thanks for watching this review today. We'll see you next time.